Right, well, it's about 5:30 now, 26, and I'm just going to head out to one of the local farms around here, and they've just recently cut all the maize, so I'm hoping that we're going to bump into a fox or a deer out there. So let's head out, have a look. The Mauser M12 with me this morning, that's in 243. I've also brought along my Bagara 22 rimfire just for a bit of fun. Might be a couple of rabbits out and about when we get there first thing, but primarily you're after a deer or a fox. On both of those rifles I've got element optics sat on there, and I've also brought with me today the PARD SV, which is a night vision add-on. So I might end up using it as a night vision unit first thing if we see a fox out before it gets light. If not, then I'm hoping that we'll see some deer out, and we can just wait for it to get light and hopefully get a shot if there's a buck out there. It's looking like it might be a bit of a misty morning this morning, but I'm testing out the infrared Gemini thermal binoculars, so that's about as good as you're going to get when it comes to thermal. So hopefully these will allow me to spot anything that's out and about. Let's walk out and have a look. Well, annoyingly there, I just came walking down the track here and looked in this first field here. To be quite honest, didn't really expect to see anything in there, and typically there was a fox probably about 30-40 yards out into the field, and as soon as I kind of walked around the corner of the hedge here, he spotted me, and he ran up alongside the hedge while I quickly sort of got set up, and I put my head back round and he disappeared. So I had a look just on the other side of the hedge. There's another gateway just behind me here, and I can see up the other side of the hedge, and he was sat out in the field. I tried to get onto him, but he knew I was about, and he just disappeared back up across the field, and then again went through the hedge back into this field, and I just see him go along the horizon there. So yeah, that's one for another day, that one. Due to the low light, the pod struggled to record a decent image. However, through the scope I could see quite clearly. Right, well, I spotted that fallow buck. I was back there just after I saw the fox, and he was out in the field, just here out in the middle. Anyway, he walked. I thought he was going to go into that wood over there, the big wood there, but instead he come along this hedgerow and walked right down towards me. And he went just through the hedge, just in front of me here, and he started trotting across the field. I think he had clocked me or he winded me. Anyway, he went out across the field there, and he stopped for a second. I managed to get a quick shot and thumped him hard, and he just, yeah, it clearly hit him through the shoulder, and it like, you know, staggered him, and he went on probably another 20-30 yards, and he just went over in the field. So great start to the morning. So we walk out and go and clean him out. Excellent, there we go, nice little buck that. Well, that was certainly a quick result. That's go like that sometimes. You can come out and be out hours not see anything. Other times you walk straight out in the field and bosh, there's a deer out there. Excellent. Right, he's all cleaned out. I'll go and get the truck. I don't fancy lugging out all the way back there. Okay, well, we've had a good result this morning, so I'm pleased with that. So I'll go back home, get that hung up, and I think I'll pop back out again this evening and have a look around for a fox. Just as I was leaving the farm, I spotted several roe deer in the corner of the field. I circled around and tried to stalk into them, but unfortunately at the same time the farmer arrived to do some work in the same field, and I just managed to get this little bit of footage as they run past. It does show, however, how in better daylight how clear the element optics and the PAR 007 SV actually are. Right, well, back out again this evening. So I'm on a different farm this evening, and this farm has got a small pheasant shoot on it, and we've had a fox that's been taking pheasant poults. So there's quite a few feathers in that in one of the fields just above a pond, and the farmer saw the fox the other day about 4 o'clock in the afternoon chasing the ducks around. That's about 10 to 7 now, so we're a little bit later, but I'm hoping that a few hours sort of just kind of looking around this farm, hopefully we'll bump into at least that fox, maybe one or two others. So we'll drive down to the pond and find a good place to sit and wait. So the farmer's just driven down through the valley there in his tractor, the lights on, revving it, making loads of noise, so I'm probably not going to see anything down there for half hour or so. So but well, might as well take the opportunity and stop and have a bit of dinner. Well, the thermal's a lot better this evening than what it was this morning in that fog. It's certainly sharp now. I can see a long way across this valley. Well, I'm currently ranging some trees over the back there, 950 metres. I can see rabbits dotted around here, there and everywhere. A few hares as well. So I'm pretty confident if we get a fox out there, definitely going to see it with these. Alright, it's pretty much got dark now, so I'm going to drop down into the valley and just find somewhere a bit more local to sit and wait. Though up here it's got a good view out across that valley, it does mean that it's quite a long shot, and I'd rather be a little bit closer if I can. So I'm scanning around with a thermal over the flock of sheep up there. It's easy to scan the open hillside because any little sort of heat source just stands out really well, but in amongst the sheep sometimes it can be difficult to spot a fox when it's out there. So when I'm scanning around, basically what I'm looking for is anything that's off to the side, sort of away from the sheep a little bit, anything that's out kind of on its own a bit, or anything that's moving really, because generally at night when the flock's calm they'll all be stood or laid down pretty still, but a fox out there will move in amongst them, go from one ewe to the other, well certainly lambing anyway. If not, they'll still be quite sort of active, they'll be moving around a lot more than any of the sheep, so that's always a thing to look out for. So we've got a badger up there at the minute. I can see it's a badger from here because it's a little bit brighter. Foxes tend to be a little bit more shadowy, not quite as bright, and also the badgers typically have a more kind of humped back, and at this sort of distance, this is probably about 350 metres thereabouts, and at that sort of distance you should be able to see the tail of a fox with these infrared Geminis. Got a fox coming down this field here. He's about 300 or 400 metres away at the moment, but he's heading this way, so I'm going to just walk down the fence a little bit here and see if I can set myself up and maybe give him a squeak. Well, I spotted that fox. He started off, he was probably about 350 metres up the field and he was coming this way anyway, but I just gave him a little squeak, and that was enough to entice him in, and he come trotting down, straight down towards me. Every time he sort of paused a little bit, I gave him another squeak, and he just kept coming out a bit more, and he came right into about 80 or 90 metres, and he just turned broadside and gave me the perfect opportunity. So yeah, just put a round straight through the chest, and that was his lot. So fox down, good job. Right, well, I'm happy with that. I'm pretty confident that was the one that I wanted to get anyway. It was in the right place, it's in the right area, and it was coming confidently down the field towards the pond. So hopefully that was the one, but time will tell. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode, and once again, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.